like a comparison versus competition, well it's not really a competition between two movies type video. I don't really know what you're going to call it. This is something that has been a thought in my mind for a while, and I know many other people have also mentioned the comparison between the movies and which one is their favourite. Basically today I'm going to be summing up some decisions between how I came up to decide which of these two movies is my favourite of the two. I mean, really, at the end of the day, you don't have to have a favourite. You could just love them both, but for some reason, well, I'll tell you what they are first and we'll get into it. So, the movies are Frozen and Tangled. Yeah, so I have here Tangled and Frozen. Tangled being the 50th classic and Frozen being the 53rd or 52nd, depending on what country you live in. These movies, I think, as soon as I loved Tangled, always. Tangled came out in 2010. Is that correct? I believe it was 2010. Or maybe 2011. Maybe, oh, I thought it was, hang on. When did Tangled come out? 2012? That seems like crazy. Anyway, it seems like a really long time ago, but definitely it couldn't have been 2010. That was when Princess and the Frog came out, I believe. So yeah, 2011, 2012, Tangled came out, and I absolutely loved Tangled, and you know, I loved it right away, and I thought it was a breath of fresh air. Disney had kind of been on this kind of iffy bit, and then Tangled came out and it kind of blew it back up again. Everyone loved Tangled, it was great. I mean, it was quite a lot of hype around it. And then of course we had Wreck-It Ralph in between these, and you know, I think that I enjoy that, but definitely not as much as these two. And I don't think it was blown as much up as these two. And then of course last year Frozen came out, and it must have been 2011 because Wreck-It Ralph came out in 2012. Anyway, then last year Frozen came out, and again, you know, it blew up, everyone was talking about it, everyone loved it, and it's all this and that. The first time I saw Frozen, I thought, you know what? I might love this even more than Tangled, and that's what I thought. And the reason it kind of reminded me of Tangled is because the character designs and the way everything looks kind of has the same vibe as the way that Tangled is. And the horse here in Tangled, Maximus, straight away, as soon as you see that horse that Hans is riding, that when they knock Anna into the boat, it looks just like him. The horse is all very similar, and it just reminds you of Tangled. So I think it's easy to compare the two, and I think that's where this whole comparison of them both has come from. Because they kind of are similar and the styles are similar, and they're both about princesses, even though different stories, but they do both have kind of a family orient as well, but with Tangled I guess having a bit more romance, I suppose. I guess Frozen's got a bit of romance, Kristoff and the whole Hans thing. Anyway, so yeah, I've watched Frozen a few more times since, and then I thought, and I was trying to weigh up situations. So basically my favourite part of the movie Frozen is the Let It Go scene. I love that scene. Every time I watch it I'm just like, my eyes are fixated on the screen, I'm blown away, and I absolutely love it. I think it's incredible. I love the music in Frozen, but I don't love every single song. There's a couple of songs I don't really love, and I think He's a Bit of a Fixer-Upper is one of those that I'm a bit like, and it's kind of long, and I'm like, okay, that's one that I could skip by. But on Tangled, I don't really think there's any songs that I dislike, and I don't really think I have a particular favourite bit, because there's so much of Tangled, I just love it pretty much from start to finish. Whereas I found with Frozen there was a couple of bits I was like, yeah, you know, I'm loving the film, but there's a couple of bits which I wouldn't have missed, if that makes sense. Also, the problem I have with Frozen, of course it's kind of based on the Snow Queen, and Tangled is of course based on Rapunzel. I think Frozen's kind of really loosely based on the Snow Queen, I'm not sure how exact it is. But Frozen I think has some kind of certain holes that I'm always like, and this, you know, I think if they would have tried to incorporate some of these things in the movie, it would have just been too long and complicated. So I'm not saying they should have, I'm just saying for me personally, that's why maybe I'm more now leaning towards Tangled. And that's because, one, I would like to know how Elsa got her powers, how it came about. Does somebody else in her family have powers? I know that she was born with them, but like, how is that possible? Do other people in the world of this world have powers, or is it just her? Like, you know, I'd like to know about that and a bit more. And also Kristoff, he and Sven get adopted by the trolls when they're very young and very cute. But where is his parents? Does it explain that? I don't recall it explaining that, but if it does, I'm sorry, but I really don't think it did, and I'd like to know that. So a bit more backstory, whereas I think with Tangled, even with Flynn, Eugene, he has a great kind of backstory, and I really like his like backstory and everything like that, and how it unfolds with him, and I kind of really liked that about this movie. And I don't know, I think you know, I'm going to say now before I get into more discussion, Tangled is my favourite over the two, because I think this one I can watch more. It has laughs, but this movie, the first time I saw it, I was laughing and giggling, and I had a really good time. It really did make me laugh. Olaf gave me some laughs. I love Olaf, but sorry, there's a glare. But I absolutely love Pascal. He's my absolute favourite. He's probably one of my favourite Disney sidekicks ever. Pascal's just so cute and adorable. I love him. So I do love Pascal more than Olaf. So as side characters, Olaf is very funny and did make me laugh, and I thought it was great. But Pascal, I just love him. He's just so cute and funny. So I think in terms of a movie as a whole, I mean, I think that Tangled doesn't have that moment where I'm blown away, whereas Frozen had that moment where I was blown away. Honestly, the Let It Go scene where she built the castle, I was blown away, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. And the Do You Want to Build a Snowman scene, the whole montage where, you know, their parents go away and I hope you've seen the movie ultimately die, and I thought that was amazing too. I was just like, wow, you know, this is great. So I do think with Frozen, the first half of the movie is kind of superior to the middle, and then obviously there's the very end. So, you know, you've got some really like blow me away moments, whereas Tangled I think is kind of pretty steady. It never really blew me away, but I loved it consistently, whereas with Frozen I was like, wow, I love it so much. But maybe it was because some moments were really blow me away that the other moments were not as good or more disappointing, I suppose. So overall, I would probably vote with this one over this one, and that's just kind of why, if that makes any sense. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below which one is your favourite and why, if you have a reason, or if you don't have a favourite, or have you seen both of them? Let me know. If you've seen one, you haven't seen the other, definitely check out the other one if you haven't seen. Yeah, let me know what's your favourite one down in the comments below, and I'm interested to see your answers. Until then, guys, don't forget to thumbs up the video, subscribe if you haven't already, or if you are a newbie, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!